The King Edward VII Bermuda Gold Cup is one of the most prized trophies in professional match racing. To win here is a dream few sailors achieve. Defending champion Ian Williams is here again.
What really draws us back is the trophy and the history behind it, and the desire to imprint my name on that trophy and be part of that history.
But can the two-time Bermuda Gold Cup champion retain his hold on the trophy with so much at stake? This magical subtropical island of Bermuda was discovered over 500 years ago, and over 100 small islands around the main island make up just 21 square miles in all. It's a British overseas territory and is renowned as a centre for finance and tourism, just a 2-hour hop from New York. And this year, the top sailors have been drawn to Bermuda for another reason, as the event plays host to the 2020 Match Racing World Championship. The defending champion is Phil Robertson, and he's aiming to retain it.
We won the World Match Racing Tour last year, and thought it would be rude not to have a decent attempt at trying to defend it, and we've sort of come as prepared as we can be with the short notice that we got. Yeah, we're having the best crack we can to try and defend the title.
The list of teams entered is impressive, with a mix of huge experience, including 4 former match racing world champions and 3 former Gold Cup winners, together with some exciting young talent making their debut in Bermuda. This year's event also sees 2 women skippers taking part. Currently ranked #1 women's match racer Pauline Courtois and her French team are racing here for the second time. And 2-time women's match racing world champion Anna Osling from Sweden is making her debut at the Bermuda Gold Cup this year.
We're stoked to be here. Second time on Bermuda, been here once sailing M32, but going into this classic event and the classic boats, it's just, yeah, we're thrilled.
And it is regarded as a classic match race regatta with a who's who of sailing legends on its roll of honour, a must-win event.
To lift up this massive trophy that Bermuda Gold Cup has, that was a sweet feeling.
It was an incredible feeling to have my name on that trophy alongside some of the great names of match racing.
This trophy, obviously, it's been around for 70 years, and there's a lot of legends that have their name engraved on it, and they're probably the guys that I looked up to as a kid.
Classic event which has also a history like the America's Cup.
Kind of the mystery, and try to actually fight for that trophy, and I think that is what drives me and all the other sailors to be a part of the Gold Cup.
This year, however, the event, like many others, has been affected by the global pandemic. But the government of Bermuda have introduced strict protocols to ensure the safety of events on the island, allowing teams to travel here and compete at the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club.
We have this travel authorization, and to be able to come to Bermuda within 48 hours, you have to produce that you have had a test and it's a negative test. When you get here, they test you again, and on day 4, have a day 4 testing. And if you stay longer than that, you have to have a day 8. The government has also been very kind to us in working with us to help our 70 competitors, sailors and officials, to get their COVID tests done as quickly as possible. When they're on the hard stand here, masks are required. But that's a rule on the island anyway. You have to wear your mask in and around the street anyway. And they live together, so they're in their own little zone, like a family. So on the boats, they're allowed to take them off.
The 5 days of competition begin with a qualifying round made up of 2 groups of 8 teams, each racing 1 match against the others in their group, and with the racecourse set in the heart of the capital city, Hamilton. It's a standard windward-leeward racecourse of 2 laps, with the first to finish winning the match. On the first day of racing, the weather is overcast with a light breeze as the teams in Group 1 get underway. Anna Osling is pitched against defending World Match Racing Tour champion Phil Robertson and leads around the top mark of the course in these special international one-design yachts, but loses out to the Kiwi by the race finish. Through the day, both groups see fierce battles around the racecourse, with clear leaders beginning to emerge.
Today went great. We're just so grateful that Bermuda's putting on this event, that we're back out sailing, doing some racing, and just to top it off, a couple of good wins for us to kickstart the regatta and get a bit of confidence going.
And defending Gold Cup champion Ian Williams is up and running, claiming 3 victories, but losing a match to Taylor Canfield from the USA.
It's been a long time since we've done any match racing and any monohull sailing as well. So for me to get out and get a few wins, really happy.
So an exciting first day of racing in these unique style yachts, most of which are owned by club members and are more than 50 years old. Leading Group 1 is Phil Robertson with 4 victories. Chris Poole and Johnny Bernson both dropped a match, but Anna and her team score their first win here in Bermuda. Mersky tops Group 2 with a perfect score. Williams tied for second with young Jeppe Borch from Denmark on a surprising 3 wins. A new day dawns in Bermuda, where in this difficult year for international sport, teams are delighted to be back racing on the World Match Racing Tour.
This is actually our 20th anniversary of the World Match Racing Tour since we started in the year 2000, and it's fantastic to still see the tour attracting some of the world's best sailors and world's best match racers, many of whom have gone on to sail in the America's Cup, former world champions. And we also continue to be recognised by World Sailing as one of the few special events. We're granted special event status on the World Match Racing Tour, which we're immensely proud about, because the winner of the World Match Racing Tour is the official World Sailing Match Racing World Champion, and that's a relationship over many years, and like I say, very proud of that and for the future as well. For the 2021 World Match Racing Tour season, we would hope to have a similar schedule to as we had this year, with 17 to 18 events all around the world, including this fabulous event here in Bermuda. And we have some new events to be announcing soon as well, which we're very excited about.
The second day of the Bermuda Gold Cup sees the qualifying rounds resume. Only the top 3 finishers from each group automatically progress to the quarterfinals.
Despite their best efforts, Pauline Courtois and her team failed to score a win, though they've sailed well on the water. Meanwhile, Williams and Mersky enjoy a titanic tussle downwind as Williams lofts Mersky away from the finish. It's a beautiful move, then he'll roll into a jibe and head for the line. He takes a crucial point. Meanwhile, after losing 2 matches the day before, Taylor Canfield has a penalty-strewn encounter with Jelmer van Beek from Holland. But he holds on to take the win, while Mersky scores 6 wins from 7 matches overall.
So this second session we had 3 races. We won 2, lost 1, and crucially we lost to Ian Williams. So Ian Williams gets us on countback and we finish second in our group. We're happy that we're through to the quarterfinals. This format is that 3 teams advance of each group and then the remaining teams do a repechage.
I actually haven't match raced monohulls in over a year, so just getting back in the game, and we were pretty confident we were through to the quarter. So it's just a matter of cleaning everything up a little bit. I think for the most part we're sailing really well.
In Group 1, Chris Poole's all-star crew is securing win after taking down almost everyone, but finally losing to Switzerland's Eric Monin, now competing in his 13th Bermuda Gold Cup, who comes through in 3rd place on 5 wins. But it's Poole that tops the group after beating Phil Robertson in their crucial deciding match.
We weren't sure what the standings were. We really weren't paying attention to it. We were just trying to make sure we were in that top 3, and Phil's the reigning world champion, and I've never not had an exciting match with him, and we were able to get inside of him and then kind of hold him out until got us in there enough to force Phil a wide turn around the top mark, and we were inside overlap. So we were able to hook in, and we rode his wake off the transom, and when we were ready, we got in on the wave and surfed up and kind of gave him a little flick. He went high, and we just peeled out from there.
He did a nice job to keep it close enough and get back in the game, and managed to take us down. So good lessons is the positive side of it. We learned some pretty tough ones there, and to be in the quarters is good. It's going to be tough from here on in, but we'll be ready to fight.
Chris Poole and his highly experienced team advance, that victory over Robertson allowing them first pick of their opponents in the quarterfinals. Williams and Mersky are through as Borch narrowly misses out. There's a 3rd trophy here at stake this week, with the island also playing host to the PGA Bermuda Championship, reinforcing the success of the Bermudan government's approach to the pandemic.
Well, it takes a real delicate balance between reopening the economy and keeping everybody safe. The government was serious from day one when it came to managing this pandemic, and they have done an outstanding job. For all intended purposes, Bermuda stomped out the virus. And that is where the delicate balance is. We've been able to reopen in a way where a testing regimen keeps everybody safe. The people who are traveling here and the people who already live here. In this tourism economy, where the recovery is going to be built around open air experiences, our ocean is an incredible asset in that recovery. So whether it is sailing or scuba diving or just going out on a catamaran, we have caves and we have a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Our culinary is spectacular. You can go fishing and diving for lobsters. People who enjoy outdoor experiences love Bermuda. Athletes are usually one of those people, so they come here and they have a great time on our trails, in our parks, on the water, etc. The fact that we live on an island where you can control who and what comes in, and you can have easy access to the water to enjoy it recreationally or for competition like in this event, I think puts us in a really, really strong spot.
Coming up, the teams come out swinging as the tempo, the wind and the pressure increase moving into the finals, with a no-holds-barred competition to come for the World Championship title. The long maritime history of Bermuda, a magical island just a 2-hour flight from New York, has drawn sailors here for centuries. This week, it's the Bermuda Gold Cup, the 70th staging of the regatta by the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club in Hamilton, with $100,000 prize money. In a year of sport challenged by the global pandemic, this is also the 2020 Match Racing World Championship. With the qualifying rounds complete, it's 2-time Gold Cup winner Johnny Berntsen from Sweden and rising Danish star Jeppe Borch, who secure the final 2 places in the quarterfinals after the repechage round. It's Phil Robertson matched against Torvar Murski, 2 top teams going head-to-head in this first to win 3-match contest.
That was a dangerous move for Robertson, jibing in front of Murski, and there it is, a yellow flag penalty. So now Robertson, who's passing Murski here at the finish line, has to offset the penalty. There is a flag. Both teams looking behind them as Robertson crosses the line, the umpire coming in from the left. It's a blue flag, so the penalties are offset. Phil Robertson impressively comes from behind, offsets the penalty, and crosses the finish in this 3rd and final race to move on into the semifinals. And Torvar Murski still not happy about it.
The team did really well. Obviously came out the blocks firing and got 2 quick wins out of the way, and then we did a boat swap and we're leading most of the last race, and it came down to a pretty close finish with 2 penalties on the line, and we managed to sneak in. So yeah, we're happy to be moving through to the semi-finals.
The next battle saw USA's Taylor Canfield against Yanni Berntsen from Sweden. Canfield took the first 2 before Yanni Berntsen came from behind in match 3 and gave Canfield not 1 but 2 penalties, the first of which Canfield had to spin right away. But finally it was the 4th match where Canfield sealed the deal to the semifinals.
We've always had some great matches against Yanni here. We're pretty confident going into it. So, I think when we're sailing the boat really well, we're going to win races. So, we just got to stick to our routine on board, and there's no doubt that we can go all the way and finish this off.
Defending Bermuda Gold Cup champion and 6-time match racing world champion Ian Williams chooses to race against Eric Monin in this 3rd quarterfinal match. They've raced each other countless times and it's close, but in the end Williams prevails 3-2, booking another trip to the semifinals.
A great quarterfinal for GAC Pindar. Really pleased to come through 3-2 in the end against Eric Monin. Credit to him, I think he was very smooth and very fast, and he kept the pressure on, and we made a couple of mistakes to give him those 2 races. We felt pretty confident with our speed and our starting, and I think we led at every bottom gate. But having said that, we'll definitely need to be better in the semi-finals than we were in the quarterfinal.
In perhaps his best World Tour performance so far, Chris Poole chooses Jeppe Borch as his quarterfinal opponent. The Danish sailor is just 23 years old, making his debut both in Bermuda and on the World Match Racing Tour, but he shakes things up here, winning the deciding 5th match over Poole.
It's definitely some close racing against Poole, but in the end I think we played the shift better and we had some better starts than him, so we managed to start ahead and then just extend from there, and that was the key to our win basically. I can't believe it right now. I'm in the semi-finals with my team. We're against some of the biggest guys in our sport, and quite amazing actually.
That is an amazing achievement given the experience that Chris Poole's team has between them, but the 4 semi-finalists are decided. Now they debate which yachts to use and who they will face. A real upset by the Danish team, but now they are matched up against Ian Williams and his team, while 2 old adversaries go head-to-head, Phil Robertson and Taylor Canfield.
It's day 4 of the Gold Cup. The afternoon breeze is in and the spectator boats are out in force. We're on board with Wmrt Bork in the pre-start, but he can't outmaneuver Ian Williams. He picks up 2 penalties, 2 blue flags on the umpire boat, which means he has to do his first one right away. And that sets the scene as Williams scores 2 back-to-back wins throughout the afternoon. And the young pretenders to his crown are taught a lesson in match race tactics. As expected, the second semi-final is close between Phil Robertson and Taylor Canfield, who are neck and neck initially. But in the fading conditions, it's Canfield's Stars and Stripes team who pulls away, eventually taking the opening 2 races before night falls on the penultimate day of competition here in Bermuda.
It's finals day and anticipation is high with a strong wind forecast, but first it's the concluding races in both semi-finals.
We're obviously 0-2 down and yeah, different day though, new conditions that we haven't had all week, so we're excited to get into a bit of racing, a bit of heavy air racing as well, so yeah, we've got 3 races to win and we believe we can go and win them.
We need to get 1 more win out of the next 3 races, so different conditions today. It's going to be a lot more breezy than we've had all week, so it's for both teams need to adjust to that, and hopefully we can get that last race and progress to the final.
Once the race committee has set the course, it's game on. In match 3, it's Williams versus Bork, and it's a penalty on the Danes. That has to be game over. Williams just has to cross the line, and after a real masterclass, he and his team stay on track. They are in the finals once more, but can they go all the way? True to his word, Robertson and his team come out fighting in match 3, and in the pre-start, they stick a penalty on Canfield, but the American team manages to get ahead. They cross through the finish line, still carrying that penalty. They think that they've offshed it on the pin, but there's the blue flag. It is still there, and Robertson sees it. With that, he takes victory, much to the dismay of a confused Canfield. Match 4 and Robertson is on fire. It's another penalty to Canfield. As they race downwind to the finish, they've left the Americans behind, and that ties the score at 2 each as the drama continues. This will be the deciding match. On board with Canfield, Robertson has a penalty. We're coming to the finish, and Canfield will simply jibe and roll over the top of him. With that move, Canfield and team have done it. They've sealed the deal over Robertson and move on to the final.
It's 2 super experienced teams in the final. Ian looking for a record 7th World Match Racing Tour title, and Taylor with his eyes on a 2nd, and both magnificent trophies.
No, I think we're sailing the boat really well. We feel very comfortable that if we're behind, we can come from behind and pass the guy. So yeah, just minimizing the silly mistakes and keeping the umpires out of our game, and I think it'll be no problem for us.
I think we're going to just keep focusing on our own game. We feel like we've got the game to beat him in most areas, but we just need to make sure that we execute on the day.
So here we go. Race 1 of the finals. The wind is up, and so is the pressure on both teams. We're on board with Ian Williams having rounded the top mark, but he has a penalty against him as he chases Canfield downwind. Now, can he get a piece of Canfield's breeze and pass him? There goes Canfield's spinnaker. So Williams is charging on strong from behind. He's getting an overlap, starting to roll Canfield. Canfield luffs him as a lured boat, trying to close the door on the finish line. Remember, Williams has that one penalty, and there's the second one. It's game over as Canfield draws first blood, and we move right into match number 2. We're into the pre-start, and both boats are well off to the left-hand side. There's a flag, and it goes against Ian Williams. Much to his surprise, now both teams going around a spectator boat. It's Williams on port. Canfield comes in from behind. Williams closes the door. Massive collision of port starboard, and Williams hits the spectator boat. Oh, my goodness. Let's have a look again. Canfield comes in on starboard, but he can't avoid the collision because Williams closes the door. That's the first hit. Port starboard. Penalty against Williams for sure. And then he nails the spectator boat on board from Williams and his crew. Not happy with that, but the game must go on as both boats sail upwind. On board with Williams right after the start, he'll immediately shed one of his 2 penalties. Canfield will sail on to win the match, but afterwards, there's a lengthy protest with both teams and the umpires, which determines Williams will lose even more. Going into the pre-start, match number 3, a must-win for Ian Williams. And Canfield luffs up. Here comes a penalty. It's Williams again. Another penalty for the British team as they sail across the line. Split tack start. Canfield in the background on starboard, and here comes Williams, shaving just by the signal boat. Squirrely conditions downwind. Remember, that penalty is still there. Canfield trying to stay behind. Both teams fishtailing. Williams ahead. Here goes Canfield. Is he going to roll? Will he overtake Williams? Could this be the match? No! Another jibe. He'll stay behind. It is all on downwind. Williams looking to offset his penalty. Here comes Canfield. It's close. Oh, the spinnaker hits Williams' backstay. That's got to be an offsetting penalty. There's a protest, and it is. So Williams has done it. The score is now 2-1 Canfield, and Williams is in a must-win situation, but it's Canfield who finds better breeze upwind and rounds the top mark ahead. Williams looking for an opening to catch up, but he can't do it. Canfield has done it, and he knows it as he crosses the finish line. He is now the Gold Cup champion and your new 2020 Open Match Racing World Champion. Wow.
With 3 victories in the final, Canfield has proven unstoppable. Meanwhile, Phil Robertson took the 3rd and 4th place playoff to defeat Jeppe Borch. And so the King Edward VII Gold Cup is awarded for the 70th time in its long history. But for the defeated finalist, the record-breaking 7th World Match Racing Tour title has eluded him this time.
Well, it's obviously extremely disappointing for GAC Pindar to come out second here. Obviously the penalties had a big impact on the final, and we were mostly on the wrong side of them, and you know, it's rough when that happens, but you've just got to suck it up, accept it's part of the game, and you know, we'll try and come back stronger next year.
It was a top-class tactical performance from Taylor Canfield, however, winning his 3rd Bermuda Gold Cup title.
You know, I always say I hate hitting boats, and it's unfortunate that we had the collision in the finals. But yeah, you know, it went our way, and the penalties went our way, and we won the race. And I haven't really match raced monohulls in over a year and a half, so you know, to come here and keep pushing and you know, get beat up a little bit in the first round and kind of rally through that. They always trusted me and relied on me, and you know, we always came out of it pretty well. We kept pushing behind or ahead, and I think that's a testament to how much drive and dedication these guys have. To come away with a win, we're so thrilled.
So the top prize for Taylor and his team, but also the biggest payday of their career for the young Danish team in 4th place. Surely one to watch. Maintaining the social distancing rules, the official award ceremony rewards the top 3 teams with bronze, silver and gold medals in the 2020 World Championship, plus a very valuable trophy.
Trophy, the Taylor Canfield.
The 70th Bermuda Gold Cup regatta closes, with Taylor Canfield and his team celebrating a dramatic victory here in Bermuda.